Hello everybody and welcome to Yo Pop the podcast with me, Shean Williams, and King Overdoer.
Very funny.
My dad, the star and the centerpiece of our little production here. You really like that hat, don't you?
Of course.
You love it. This is like the third week running, you're rocking that hat. We've got to get it in a different colour.
That's a good point, actually.
I'm not going to personally do it, but you should get it in a different colour. Listen, that branding doesn't come under my umbrella. That's your brand partnership deals you're doing elsewhere over there.
Yes.
How are you, Dad?
I am good. I'm good.
For real?
For real.
Because I know you've been dealing with a lot and
Yeah, there's been a lot, but I'm good. Handling it.
Do you know what? I think there's a whole bunch of people that are from your season that they're like, I know what that means.
From my season.
Your season.
Do you
remember? And you did this last week with Vintage. Do you remember? And then I had to admonish you.
That means he's trying to tell me off. That's
I'm
what
not.
He's using the more
No,
acceptable word.
No. I said
admonishing me.
No, do you know why I had to admonish? Because you jumped down and you thought that I was trying to say something I wasn't trying to say.
Didn't move from my seat.
I mean it in a conceptual way, not that you got off your seat and jumped down. You're being silly. How are you?
No, he's calling me silly. I think
Stop.
Somebody has to say something to him.
Listen.
Say something to him.
Father.
Okay.
How art thou?
I am good. Good.
Everything's good?
Everything great.
Good. Good start to the week, because Monday's usually kind of your easier days.
Yes, yes, it is after a busy weekend.
Was it busy, was it?
Yeah, it was very busy.
Up and about. You enjoyed being with the fellowship at Lighthouse on Saturday?
Yes, they were great, actually.
You did say it was an amazing time?
Yeah, they were very, very
hospitable.
Accommodating.
We'll go with your word.
That's right.
I'll stop trying to put words in your mouth.
Yes, please. That's really very helpful.
Ha!
No.
I'm glad, because I know you had fun. So that was
it was great seeing some of the
some of your friends in ministry. People that you know.
That's the word. Yeah.
Colleague network.
Who I have not seen for
a long time.
Through a period of time.
Wow.
So I think they were quite amazed.
What, that you're looking as well as you're looking?
Of course.
Doing all the things.
But then, they see me most week on the podcast, they were telling me.
Oh, they enjoy it?
Yes, they love it.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. We're coming slowly but surely.
Absolutely.
We're taking our traction.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited because it's the World Cup.
Okay.
I'm not excited because I have to fly out on the day that the World Cup starts. And you know me, Dad, I like football. So I'd really want to be sat down with my little World Cup camp around me, Wallace on FaceTime if I need him straight away to talk about what's going on. And here I am having to travel again.
But they may facilitate you on the plane with ongoing.
But I've already got my in-plane entertainment set up on my iPad. I don't want to be distracted by that, and I want to watch. I want to watch it in a,
a certain kind of environment.
And a setup, Dad.
So you can scream and
go on mad if I want to.
Badly.
Yeah, well, not badly, but expressively. I can't be screaming on the plane and grabbing people and,
I've known people to do that.
And then they meet the police at the end of the flight, right? They're getting escorted off. No, so you can stay there. We're going to have someone escort you off.
Yes.
No, I don't want that, Dad. I don't want that for me.
No.
I don't want that for me. So, who's your... And this is just for, Dad, people want to know what you think about things that's happening in the world. Yeah. Well, who's your pick to win the World Cup?
Brazil.
Why? And don't just say Brazil because you think of Brazil in the days of Brazil. Why, Dad? You can't just say Brazil because you think it. Because I can give you some great stats as to why it could possibly not be Brazil.
Yeah. I just love the way they play football.
With the freedom.
Yeah, the freedom.
The flair.
Yeah. And the skills. They're just brilliant.
Manchester United have got a couple players in the Brazil squad.
Oh,
flair players. Mateus Cunha. We call him the Samba Surfer.
Wow.
It's brilliant, Dad.
Yeah. So they make football entertaining.
They do? So what do you think about France?
France,
that they've got a great squad.
Yeah,
great squad, Dad.
Yeah.
Frightening, the front three that they have.
They're powerful. Got to give it to them.
And very quickly, because obviously we have to move in and do stuff. Chances for England?
Ooh.
Eesh.
The new manager, I think.
Go on, what's your take on Tuchel?
I think he's going to be good. I get that kind of feeling that he looks relaxed.
Do you know what Tuchel, the vibes he gives me? You know when you see a person who's got the I know something you don't know look?
Exactly.
And I'm hoping he really knows
really
something
does,
that
yes.
we don't know, because he's made a couple of choices, Dad, where people have gone, you know, Scooby-Doo. Oh.
Yeah. And,
But they have.
He does look like he got a few tricks up his sleeve.
I do. I don't know if they're dark art tricks though.
Yeah.
Like, not Dad.
Whatever it is, he looks quite relaxed, which I'm very pleased, because given history and
True.
reaction,
True.
he should really be sort of panicking, you know. But he looked absolutely.
Do you know what? I saw something, Dad, on a BBC program that was documenting. Basically, it was a re-dramatization of the era of Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, I saw a bit of it.
And I'm not sure if the last scene was accurate, but Gareth Southgate's basically coming in. He's leaving, and Thomas Tuchel knocks on the door to be like, you know, in my office, but in a nice way. And Thomas Tuchel basically lists every barrier that Gareth Southgate's broken in his tenure as England manager. So going, you're the first manager to win a penalty shootout. You're the first manager to get England to finals. And at the moment, at the time of kind of where the production was, Gareth Southgate was kind of going, it's almost like he was looking going, have I failed here?
Yeah, yeah.
And as Tuchel's reeling off these things, it's really funny. He reels off all of these amazing accolades. And when you sit back and go, wow, Gareth Southgate did really well. But as he's reeling them off, he gets to the end and he says to Gareth, he goes, obviously, you know, I'll not mention one of these to the press when I go out there. And it gave me the idea that he looked at the project and he went, they're ready to win.
Yes.
The guy's taken them.
Yeah,
And and I look at Tuchel and I think this is a guy that really uses his brain. Like, he's a master tactician. And I almost feel like he's like, they only need 1 and 2 tweaks, and they're ready to win a massive tournament. And I just think he looked at it and went, oh, I know what to do here. And I can get them over the line. And so when you say he's got that I know something you don't know look, I kind of get that vibe.
He seemed very conscious of where things are at, and, you know, very confident. Which I like about that.
The only thing I'm not a massive fan of, but I will look to see how it develops. I'm not completely sure I like the way he's dealing with Jude Bellingham. I think Jude Bellingham has one of those generational characters. There are some people, Dad, that refuse to either lose or not give it all. And he demands the best from everyone and everything around him.
Yeah.
Some people don't lean into that. And I feel like there's a couple of choices also within the right back situation. There's a guy called Trent Alexander-Arnold who, Dad, he is basically a central midfielder playing as a right back. The boy is brilliant, Dad. And I've grown up on David Beckham and Paul Scholes, Dad, precision passers. And I look at some of the things Trent Alexander-Arnold does from right back, and I look and I go, he shouldn't be able to do that. And he's left him out.
Yeah. But then, you see, I find that with most of them,
they
always do something slightly controversial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
that's true.
It seems to get everybody's attention.
But everybody's kind of...
And then later on, they sort of think, okay, come in, you know.
I know, but I just feel like, especially with the squad selection, he's left no room to kind of go back on himself. So it's almost just like, you may live and die by this decision, and it may have been a decision you didn't need to make or something you didn't need to do. And I also think that there is something linked between Alexander-Arnold and Jude Bellingham are very close. And big personalities like that in a environment like the dressing room, depending on what the kind of pH balance you want, Dad. And I think that might have a little something to do with it, but I'm not completely sure that the England manager or that Tuchel feels like he can come out and say that. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Interesting.
It is. And that's a good talk, Dad. Well done. Why are you looking at that?
Why are you
Why are you
well
looking
done?
at that for?
As if well in that,
Well, you don't.
I don't know nothing about anything.
Why are you getting so?
Shocking.
Do you know
Shocking.
what? I don't have. So to today's podcast, it's actually I need to pull on your years of experience.
Okay.
So you know my friend Silky. I got a message from him 2-3 days ago to say that someone that I knew within the musical network, it wasn't a close friend of mine. I actually knew him and the team he was working with, really talented. They were actually in the studio in Kilburn before Leon took it over.
Okay.
And so when we started to kind of develop that relationship through Miss B with Alistair and stuff, his nephew was doing some really cool things with another guy called Parker Geely, who was a fantastic producer, and they started to have number ones quite early, Dad. And so we were all kind of in and around the same place. And obviously Leon was thinking about, he was doing more there and was going to take the studio over. But this particular guy, Dad, a young guy called, well actually, at the time he was young. We are young, I guess. A guy called Talay Riley. He tragically lost his life. And it would appear, just from the very surface level of looking into the situation I was able to do, that he lost his life in a confrontation. And it hit very close to home because obviously our family, we lost someone to knife crime.
Right.
And the first thing I did was Dad, this is a person who wrote a number one hit, won a Grammy Award.
Yeah.
Was Grammy nominated, was there, right? And like I said, with the surface level understanding of the situation, my first thought was, how do you find yourself in that position, right? And especially being kind of in your mid-30s, you'd like to think that some of the associated ideas of what's happening with knife crime is to an age group that's younger, Dad,
Yeah.
right? But you see it creeping into what you'd call adult life. And the first thing I wanted to ask, Dad, also because I want to explore it a little bit, but I don't want to explore it in terms of the story. I'm not into stories, but it's more so I think there's something deeper there in terms of it's a life lost, the circumstance to which can lead a person into a certain place that, they find themselves in moments that become life-threatening.
Yeah.
So the first thing I'd want to ask, Dad, to a family that's probably firstly trying to come to terms with the news and what's happened, how do you process that?
Yeah. You never really come to terms with what happened.
Yeah.
The thing that you have to do is to find what I call the practical things that you can focus on about a person, what their life has been, the benefits that they offer, the support they have given.
The legacy of their...
Yes, basically all that
Yeah.
good stuff that you have to sort of see and recognize that.
Key word, good, the good stuff.
Yes.
'Cause it's easy to...
Really,
yeah.
yes, very much. And it is, you got to really understand that people are going to make mistakes while they are going through it. It's not a mistake. It's life.
Yeah.
But then
That's a really
it's,
good point,
it's
Dad.
proven
Yeah.
to be a mistake. And it is often time where I think a lot of people get it wrong in thinking that you knowingly go into a situation that ends tragically as it does. More than likely, he would have thought that those people around him would never do something like that to him, especially given the relationship that they have. But there are so many factors to consider in that day, in that moment. What were they doing? Not per se the individual, but the one who perpetrated the act. What were they doing? What were they engaged in? For example, in a lot of cases, they might have been on drugs and therefore almost not being responsible for their action, so to speak, but yet guilty of committing a very serious crime.
Yeah.
And so it's all of those you have to put in perspective to come up with the notion that it's not something that you're going to change, because it can happen to anyone at any time. You're going about your business, and I remember once actually, I was going to visit a friend of mine, and I saw this young man coming towards me, and I could just feel in my spirit, this guy is dangerous. Move out of his way. And as he passed by, the way he looked at me, it was really vicious. As if to say, just say something and I would do something to you. And it is sometimes that lack of discernment in people and situation that causes one not to escape some of the potential challenges and risks that they would come up against.
Yeah.
So in terms of family and people that are close to him, it is understanding what I call the two life situation. And this side of life, he has lived his life to the best he can. Yeah. Now he's taken, not intentional, but anyhow he's been taken, and therefore one now has to think about the other side of life, and how his life on this side impact what happens to him on the other side.
Dad, without being, what's the word I'm looking for? Without being, I think it's indelicate is the word. I think the word is indelicate. I know that there was, because of the huge success that he received, I know he went over to L.A. and spent some time working with Dad. Any and everybody that you know to be of note,
yes,
he's worked with and written with and for. And I'm aware that there was, I think he took some time out because it had become psychologically overwhelming.
Yes.
Which I always think is the first clue, especially in our industry.
Yes.
When a person needs a break, it's like a computer, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
That computer will shut down if it doesn't.
Yes, it will.
It will warn you, and it will warn you, and it will warn you.
Yes.
And then it will get to the place where it's just like
yeah.
And I wonder, Dad, if we as people, and also I want you to objectively look at the music industry, is there a certain level of complicity? Because it's about, we don't care about the orange, we just want to know how much juice can we get out of it.
That's right, yeah.
Right? And then after you've got the juice and whoever's been served has been you've been satisfied and refreshed, okay, there's still an orange.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wonder if there is a certain element or feeling that once you stop being useful, or you're not as efficiently useful as you were, do you think there's a certain level of discarding or?
It definitely happens, and it is one of the vicious side of the industry. That's really one of the vicious side.
That's true.
In that they look at it, and of course you're picking up people at the best of time are extremely vulnerable,
Yeah.
you know, and they become, you know, dazzled by all of the glitz and glamour of what they're made to believe and got indulged in.
Yeah.
And till they forget themselves, you know. And when that happens, you're no more in control. Others are controlling you.
Right.
And they are controlling you not because of your good looks or whether anything else. It's the fact that you are making them, as you put it, the juice. You're giving them good quality juice. They know that it's going to come a time when there will be no more worthwhile squeezing for. You see what I mean? So for them, it's urgent. It's while they're squeezing you dry, they're looking for the next one or few that they can start squeezing.
Yeah.
And that is where it is. Now, for most people who are giving their juice, they've never stopped to think, I've got something for this juice. When I'm not able to give any more juice, what am I going to do? What is my life going to be? You see what I mean? And making preparation for as it were, for their next life.
And the next transition in
Indeed.
terms of what you're going to do.
You see, and that is where I think they get to a point where they're facing a brick wall
Yeah.
and can't do nothing about it because they've been so absorbed by what has gone on. Other people take over their life, determine what you wear, what you eat, what you drink, where you stay, the lot. And then suddenly one day you wake up and they tell you, you're on your own now. We don't have any more time, so to speak.
Yeah.
You're gonna get something because you got things like royalties and other stuff coming. But as regard to the glitz and glamour, no. And I've seen this with, you know, and I heard about it that Serena Williams, I think, the great tennis player.
Yeah.
I think she had retired.
Yes, she had.
And now
But she's making a little comeback.
Exactly. You think, hang on here. Why would you want to do that? See, you've got perhaps all the money that you can ever spend, but there's something that people don't account for, and that is that, you know, that glamour, that excitement, you know, walking out on that court and that the tennis court, and hear thousands of people calling your name or applauding for you. It becomes like drugs. And after a while, you don't have that. You got to sort of feel like you're disappearing in the background. You want it back. You know what I mean? You're not going to be anywhere as great as you were then, but even a bit of it. And that is where I think a lot of people find themselves craving after things that they're either not having the ability to have, or, you know, lost it, and then of course they find themselves now in the den of the wolves. And it is during times like these you have all kind of unscrupulous people.
Yeah. I was going to say something to you, Dad, because that was a really interesting point you made about Serena Williams, and I kind of want to pose like a parallel idea. Do you also think there could be an element of, now I watched the story King Richard of like their dad and how he trained them and got them to the top, right? To be trained that young, right, and to have that much expectation and get there, and then to dominate in the way you do, Dad, right? Yes, everything naturally comes to an end, but especially for her, you have businesses, you have investments, you have this personality alongside this amazing career. You become a mother. Do you think there's a certain element of, she would almost feel not like a fish out of water, but Dad, that tennis is all she knows.
That's it.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's this fish out of the water.
And also you would miss the adrenaline of that level of Dad. It's margins, right? Yeah. Between feeling utter despair and feeling like you're on top of the world.
Indeed.
And I look at Serena Williams coming back. I think she's 44, and in her head, she's as good as she's ever been, Dad. Right. Yeah. Secondly, she's also sitting there going, imagine when the world looks at me as a 44-year-old mum that left the game, came back against the whole generation that should be. Yeah. So for her, it's nothing more than what she thinks is possible.
Yes.
It's the same reason why, Dad, Michael Jackson would announce at 60 odd, I'm going to do X amount of dates, back to back. This is going to be the biggest show you've ever seen. Because you sit down and you look at a guy and you go, from the age of 5, all he's known, and he has toppled every record there is. Yeah. And he's meant to kind of be maybe, you know, chilling out as this older statesman. But the reality is that that's all he knows. Yeah. So to not be on stage is crazy. It's like, I know this 68-year-old person, right? And most people in his world slowing right down. Yeah. Jumps on planes, drives here, drives there, family can't pin him down, has like 4 phones, never answers any of them.
Why do I get this horrible feeling that you're talking about me, huh?
Hey, well, if the shoe fits, as they say, that, or if the cap wears fits, yeah, you know, the cap wears fits.
I mean, goodness me. I mean, most people talk about you behind your back.
No, I'll do it to your face, Dad. You know me. I'll do it to your face. I'll do it right to your face. Keep it. No, but I mean it on the basis of.
Seriously, I understand.
Since you gave your life to Christ at 17. You knew what you wanted to do, and you've spent your life doing what you want to do, right? And so we have sometimes little moments of tug of war where I'm trying to lean you into spaces that I think will slow down the pace, and also lean you with the same skill set and talent and gifts into new areas. But I also, just off of listening to what you're saying, you know what you know. Yeah. And the dedication and commitment to it, to ask you to do any less than what you've always done. When I switch and I sit in your side of the space, it's to you, I can imagine it almost feeling like a dereliction of your duty. Because you're like, this is what I've been given.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. But yet at the same time, Dad, we see the other side of it, where it can lean a person into darker spaces in their mind emotionally. Yeah. Consistently going and trying to chase that thing that you've already caught. I always find that funny, right? That you get a number one, and then until you get the next one, it's almost like the next one validates the first one, and then you need the third one to validate the second. And in fact, we have to do a podcast on this because I've just got it at home, sitting like next to my bedside. Dad, when I got my number one for that record, a lot of things that I felt in myself really disappeared really quickly. Really quickly. And to a certain element, I got it by accident.
Right.
I've always taught, like in terms of I teach at a performing arts college, which I feel like has always been the counterbalance to some of the superficial extravagance.
Yeah. I was gonna say something about that. I was gonna say, you know, a lot of people struggle with transition.
Yeah.
You get me? And this is where I think in many cases you have somehow mastered it, because you don't just lean into what you're very good at.
That's one of the nicest things you've ever said to me. Apart from the song you wrote me that I still need to listen to.
Exactly. I was just about to
but you wait till everybody sit there and they go, you wait till the comments go crazy with this. I'm like, your dad wrote you a song. I might premiere it for everybody. I might premiere it and we'll get...
I think that would be quite...
Dad, I'm not premiering the song because it's a private thing, but whatever you wanted to say, whatever you wanted...
It's not private. It's just truthful. And anyone with any kind of observation would know that what I said is the truth. And you're afraid to listen to it because you know it's the truth.
Can I actually tell you why I haven't listened to it? I've actually been that busy by accident. First of all, Dad, don't do that. Because I can call you for days, right, on 3 different numbers and not get you. So don't talk to me about sit there and huff at me. Sorry, answer the question. What was the question we were asking? The transitioning part. Yeah.
I think you're doing a great job in transitioning.
Thanks, Pop.
And which I think it really will serve you well.
Yeah.
And that is where I think a lot of people in the arena, like the guy you just mentioned,
Elite sport, elite entertainment,
because nobody tells them that look, you're going to need to transition,
and
you know what I mean. So that exit route for them doesn't exist.
Yeah.
They're either up there, then they're sort of
down
straight on the ground.
And with that, it's like it's boom and bust. There's never any middle ground. There's never any consistency. There's never any just steady.
Yeah. And then what is even worse, while they have the money, they buy into activities and companies and products that they really have no idea about. Somebody running it for them, somebody getting the adrenaline rush when they do well or they don't. But the thing that they are good at, you know, and let's take someone like Usain. I mean, how much does he know about running? I mean, you thought he would have gone into having his own Usain Bolt Academy. You see what I mean? Because that is his life, that is his passion. And you think, no. You see him sitting up in places thinking, you should be having your own team down there running, you know what I mean, and getting that excitement because they're winners. That is where I think a lot of people do it wrong. Same thing with Serena, same thing with some of these great guys. They don't follow what they know. They get engaged. Yes, they're rich. Yes, they are businessmen and women and great, but what benefit do they get from it? Because that's not their niche.
So let me ask you a question. Is it possible for your gift to be dissimilar from your passion? Oh.
You see, again, I think a lot of people
think about it.
Focus on their gift because your passion may not bring you wealth, health, and other stuff.
But the reason why I say that is because you mentioned Usain Bolt, and I sat and I went, of course, that makes no sense. If Usain Bolt even announces on his social media, right, open an academy, come here, bring $500 or whatever, Dad, it's a whole new... But then that makes me sit there and go, running was Usain Bolt's gift. Coaching was Coach Glenn Mills' passion. So you marry the passion, right, Dad? The brain, the person that goes, I understand how your body works. I understand what you need to do. I understand how to get it out of you. And Usain Bolt almost has to commit himself to this man. Who hopefully he's going to learn along the way because he's going to explain to him what he needs. Because that's what a coach is, right, Dad? Excuse me, nearly just choked myself. A coach is a person that shows you, that develops you and then shows you how to get the maximum out of yourself. And so that's why I'm like, maybe your gift is different from...
Yeah, you see, in say someone like Usain, case, you have somebody like his coach, for example, running the practical side of training, right? But when it comes to that bigger, glorious side, that's where he would be and should be seen. And he would be getting almost the same accolade and adrenaline rush, really, as when he was running. Because you never see the coach, even when he was winning.
Yeah, true.
Because
sometimes.
As far as, just
very briefly, briefly. Fleeting.
But like him, he's an icon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm talking about him, and
there you go.
Usain Bolt has running years.
So I think for a lot of people, is knowing how to transition
Yeah.
into things that are still part of that passion, but you are now giving out to the next generation,
Yeah.
to the next person, while at the same time being happy and blessed that you can still enjoy what you love doing.
Yeah. Dad, how do those closest to him, namely his family, parents and extended family members, and also I know there's a lot of people within the music industry, especially his close friends, like those that he came up with, like I mentioned to you about Parker Geely and even like Miss D and The Weeknd, these other people that knew him, and also his circle would have grown to other people. It's always the hardest for those left behind, Dad. And I think when my uncle passed, that's probably been the most difficult thing to watch, the effect it's had on his sisters, his children, those that cared and loved him and miss him, because obviously he had colleagues and people that he worked with, and it'll be the same obviously for Talay and his family, Dad. Like, how do they pick up the pieces and find peace?
I think what we did with your uncle, I think made the difference.
Okay.
We took what he was good at,
Right.
what he loved,
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
and we saturate this bad situation with this joyous exposure of what was his
The best part of him.
Best part of him.
Yeah.
And that absolutely put everyone in such a better place.
And his massive achievements, Dad.
Absolutely.
To see like some of the icons of the music industry
Yeah.
sit there and take them in to stop and take off their hat to my uncle and be like, this guy.
Indeed.
And Dad, what you say is amazing.
Yeah, and the fact that nobody wanted to see the body, because you're seeing the person performing live in front of you. His music is coming across, and for me, it is one of the most memorable.
It's almost like, and I don't mean, I like that I get to say this to you. It's almost like the body became inconsequential because the light was too bright.
There you go.
Does that make sense?
There you go. And somebody like that guy now.
For Talay and his family, like what's happened has happened. Like the circumstance, it's inconsequential because the time is gone.
Yes.
That can't come back.
Can't come back, that's it.
But the light will always remain.
Indeed.
So
And that
live
legacy
in the light.
in their heart, they
Yeah.
can see it. They're walking away, not with a depressed situation,
No.
but that, what, in his short life, he has achieved
So much, Dad.
so much.
And left so much light.
Indeed.
Yeah. Dad, I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you everybody that's taken the time to watch this. Please like, subscribe, share. Also get in the comments and interact with us.
And ask for the songs, whatever you do. Yeah, the song that I wrote for him. Ask him to play it.
You notice I don't interrupt him in that kind of deplorable way. So for those of you that are friends with my father, talk to your friends. Guys, take care of yourselves. See you next week.